Welcome back, beautiful mamas to be. Now today's prenatal movement flow is called the Birth Sling Daily Moves. Now every single one of these exercises in this flow has been carefully chosen to help create space in your body so that your baby can find their perfect position, to help relieve pregnancy-related aches and strains by staying supple and strong, and to help you prepare your body for labor. You can come back to this workout at any time throughout your pregnancy, so let's get started. All right, let's begin by taking the fabric from the main sling and bringing yourself into a nice forward lean position. Make sure it's nice and comfortable around your chest and not digging in anywhere. Now slowly just moving your legs back, relaxing into the sling and letting your belly really relax and drop forward. This encourages the baby into an anterior leg position. And yeah, it just creates a lot of good space for them. Now I'm just connecting in with my breath, swaying from side to side, doing a bit of a check-in of my body. And remembering that at any time throughout this workout, if something doesn't feel right for you, please stop, take things at your own pace. And if anything doesn't feel right, you don't have to do every single exercise. All right, so we're gonna just start by stepping from side to side, really making sure that your heels go all the way back down into the floor, stretching through the calves and all the way through up to your hamstrings, which attach to your pelvis and play a huge role in your pelvic dynamics. So from side to side. Connecting in with baby. Awesome. Now from here, we're going to go into a variation of like a cat-cow sort of exercise. So we're gonna start by taking a nice deep breath in and looking up. And then as we exhale, we rotate and tuck everything under. And again, inhale up and down. And in. And in. Moving all the different parts of your spine, tucking the pelvis under when we come down and extending it when you come up. 2 more like that. Beautiful, and just coming back up and swaying from side to side. Now we're going to move into a side stretch, and I want you to really ragdoll your body. So we can sort of start, you want to press your hips away, leaning down and reaching down the side of your leg. I'm still leaning into the sling, so it's still supporting me throughout the movement, and I'm just reaching down. And then I kind of ragdoll at the end and come back up. And to the other side. Feel that stretching all the way down your side body from your upper neck, all the way down to your pelvis, to your sacroiliac joints. Stretching the thoracolumbar fascia in between all the ribs. Oh, this feels so good on my low back. And you can see I'm bending my knees as I get down low. Just really enjoying each movement. This isn't about getting your cardiovascular up or, doing exercise. This is supposed to be a nourishing routine of movements for your body during pregnancy. We're gonna do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now again, just staying in that forward lean position. And we're going to start with some hip circles. So at the moment my legs are straight, but as I go back for some hip circles, I bend my knees and really connecting in with your sit bones and sort of like pushing back, which should soften through the pelvic floor. You should feel that space between your sit bones sort of almost open up. Big circles. Pressing into any side that might feel a little bit more stiff. And just connecting in with your body. 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. And now we're going to change directions and around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and last one. Awesome. Now, if you feel like you just want to come up and take a break before we head down onto our hands and knees. So I'm going to leave the sling exactly where it is. If you need a drink or a little break, by all means, as I said, take this at your own pace. You might be in your 2nd trimester. You might be really much further on into your 3rd trimester. So we all just need to do it at our own level. Alrighty, and we're gonna come down nice and carefully onto our hands and knees. Now you might wanna put a pillow under your knees. I've got a nice yoga mat under mine, and I'm finding this quite comfy. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to move through internal and external rotation of our hips. So when we internally rotate our hips, this actually makes the pelvic outlet wider. So this is sort of a good position or a good movement to do for when you are actually birthing your baby. When we externally rotate our hips like so, this actually opens the pelvic inlet. So that would be like earlier on in labor. For me personally, I have a lot more range in external rotation. So I find internal rotation a lot harder. So that's the one that I kind of focus on a little bit more, but we're definitely gonna move through both. All right. So, as I said, come down onto your knees. Let's start with external rotation. So my toes are together, my knees are out wide, and I'm just going to swing back and forth a little, feeling if there's any little tight spots. That's it. Letting the pelvic floor soften. And from there, you can do some more like hip circles as well. Around to one side and back the other way. Beautiful. All right, and now we're going to internally rotate the knees, or the hips. So we're bringing the knees in and the feet out. And again, we're just gonna swing back and forward. And as I said, for me personally, I find this position so much more challenging. I don't have a lot of internal rotation available in my hips, so it feels really good to make sure I prioritize that movement as well. Really trying to press those sit bones up, almost like up towards the sky a little bit. Arching through the back, relaxing through the abdomen. This is all great movement for if your baby is laying posterior at the moment, then you might want to really focus on these forward lean positions and movements, and potentially even avoid the squat positions, which put you in a little bit more of a leaning back position. So any of these forward lean positions, if you know that your baby is in a posterior position, then this could be really helpful for you. All right, now moving into circles. 2. And back the other way. Got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. All right. From here, we're actually just going to come back up to standing for a moment. We're still staying in a forward lean position, so you can leave the sling exactly where it is. We're going to do a stretch for our adductors, which are our inside thighs here, which connect all the way up to the top near the pubic symphysis. If you are experiencing pubic symphysis pain and this feels too much, then obviously move on. But stretching through here and getting some balance between the two could actually be helpful as well. So just check in and do what feels right for your body. Now, I'm going to come down, and actually, I'm gonna bring the sling underneath my abdomen as well. So it's a little bit more supportive. It's almost like I'm kind of just able to lay on my tummy, but there's still lots of room for my belly here, and I'm taking my legs nice and wide. Now this is an extra wide mat, so it's really taking those legs nice and wide. If it causes any pain at the pubic symphysis, just bring them in a little bit closer. We're gonna take our arms out like so, and I'm just gonna lean back a little bit further. I'm going to bend the knee that I'm reaching to and feeling the stretch through here. Make sure that you keep your feet parallel, so your heels almost slightly further out than your toes. And across. 1 and 2, 3. Now I'm feeling so supported by the sling to do this movement that I'm able to really focus in on the adductors rather than supporting the rest of my body. Just make sure that you've got your feet at a point that feels like a good balance for you. I'm gonna go with 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, and bring yourself back up. Now I'm gonna come back onto my hands and knees, just bringing that sling back up only around my chest, and coming down for some lunges. So I'm gonna start with my right knee up, my right leg up. And for this lunge, it's slightly out to the side. And I'm just going to rock back and forth Just feeling into the areas that might need a little bit of extra stretch or attention. Good. And now I'm going to bring that foot more parallel and in front of me. I'm just going to sink forward for a nice psoas stretch or hip flexor stretch on that left-hand side. Again, just really letting that sling support me through this movement, which enables me to really sink into it and stretch the areas that really feel like they need it. And just stay here as long as you feel is necessary. And before I move to the other side, I'm going to press back onto my knee, straightening the front leg as much as I can and flexing the toes up to feel a nice hamstring and calf stretch. I'm feeling this all the way up behind my knees, up to the base of my pelvis. And it feels good. It's that good pain. It's definitely feeling a bit tight at the moment. Just really taking your time with each movement and being really intentional about where you're feeling the stretch. All right, now I'm just going to bring that leg behind and swap over to the other side. So starting with my leg a little bit further out to the side, and I'm just going to rock back and forth. A couple of little hip circles if that feels right. And the other way. And now I'm going to bring that left leg a little bit further in front so that everything's feeling nice and parallel. I'm just sinking into that, feeling supported and lifted by the sling so that I'm not going to lose my balance. If you do feel like you need a chair or something to hold on to for this position, by all means, have something there just for that little bit of extra support. And pressing back to stretch through those hamstrings and the calf. Awesome. All right, so you can now just bring yourself out of that main sling. Use the sling to help you get up, and we're going to move into more of a squat position. Okay, so for part 2 of this Birth Sling Daily Move series, we are going to be primarily moving through a series of different types of squats, all about building strength and connecting in with our pelvic floor. So to begin with, we're going to really get our glutes and thighs fired up by only using the arm slings, if that feels right for you. If you want that additional support, you can use the body sling as well, but we're just going to bring our feet parallel. Now, Ina May Gaskin, who is a very famous birth worker, was famously quoted in saying that if you do 300 squats a day, you will be sure to birth your baby quickly and easily, or something like that. We're certainly not going to do 300. I'm going to aim for 20 right now. If you feel like you would like to do more or less, then that's perfectly fine. So just holding on for a little bit of additional support, but we actually just want our legs to do most of the work. So let's get started, keeping a slight pelvic tilt or arch so that your sit bones are heading straight down to the ground. We're going down for 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, getting my arms involved. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Awesome. Shake it out. If you feel like you want to do a little thigh stretch, absolutely go for it. Same on the other side. All right, now we're gonna get back into that main part of the sling. We're gonna do some hip circles in a deep squat. So you might have seen lots of people like to do hip circles on the ball, on the big birth ball, which is great. This is a little bit more of an active movement as well. So we're coming down to a nice deep squat. Most of my body weight is supported in the sling, and I'm just gonna start moving my hips in a circle for 1, 2. Really just feel into how much of a movement you want to do personally. Trying to draw a nice big circle on the ground with your sit bones. Awesome, and back the other way. Three, 2, and 1. All right, now we're going to do pelvic tilts and extensions. So we're going, again, in this nice deep squat position, we're going to tilt our pelvis under, we hug our baby in, and then we soften and extend and look up. And again, 1. And relax. 2. And relax. 3, lift the pelvic floor, hug your baby, and soften and relax everything. 4 more like this. 4, 3, 2, and 1, and relax. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to grab the Pilates ball now to do some ball squeezes. So again, we're staying in this squat position, placing this ball just between your knees, and we're going to get those adductor muscles, the inside thighs, activated by squeezing that ball in this squat position. So feet and knees are nice and parallel. I'm feeling supported, and I'm just gonna start squeezing for 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Beautiful. Now, I'm gonna move on to the next exercise. If you feel like you'd like to continue with a couple more sets of these, then by all means go for it. But otherwise, let's get the booty bend for the opposite movement. So this time we're going to be working our abductors, which are our outside thighs, and getting them switched on. If you're experiencing any pelvic girdle pain, these two exercises in particular should be really good at creating stability throughout your pelvis to help support that pain. So again, just coming down, I've got a slight amount of tension on that band, just making sure, sorry, I'm just gonna adjust that, just making sure that you're not fully tucked under. You've got a bit of a curve in your lumbar spine, and then off we go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I'm just gonna hold it out. So hold. Feeling those muscles really switch on and relax. Awesome. Okay. Last little movement before we sort of start to wind things down. We're coming into a nice deep squat and just gonna move our sway from side to side. Sorry, my attachment's a little bit creaky. We're gonna move from side to side, and as we do, we're going to internally rotate one leg and then externally rotate it, and internally rotate the other, and then out. So you're moving your hips through a bit of their range of movement. Feeling nice and supported by the sling to move through the whole range of movement of internal rotation and external rotation. Awesome. Okay. And last, but certainly not least, before we wind down, is a piriformis stretch. Now, your piriformis muscle is one of your external rotators, and it can be such a cause of discomfort in pregnancy. It can cause some of that shooting pain down your leg. So what we're feeling, we're supported in the sling, and then I'm gonna lift my right leg, flex the foot, the ankle sits on top of the other knee, and I'm just carefully enjoying a nice piriformis stretch in this position. It feels so good.
Take your time. Okay, and over to the other side. Just getting my balance and sinking into it. By keeping the foot nice and flexed, you kind of line things up better. Excellent. All right. Now I'm gonna grab the yoga block because I'm going to move into a nice deep squat, and we're just gonna sit here for a little bit and really relax the whole body, particularly connecting in with your pelvic floor. By adding the yoga block under our sit bones, it just means that our whole body can be really relaxed. So you've got the support of the sling and a little bit of weight taken off from underneath, and it's maxo relaxo. So that just sits under there, and bringing your feet in as close to your bottom as possible. And ideally, you want your arms up above your head to really stretch through all of that fascia at the back to make space for baby and to facilitate more space when it comes time to give birth. And just sitting here and connecting in, softening and letting the pelvic floor relax. If your arms start to get tingly or anything like that, you might want to bring them down and sit them on baby, say hello. Really just taking this moment for yourself, feeling your feet nice and flat and grounded into the earth. Spread your toes out as much as you possibly can. Deep breaths out. Bringing that heart rate down. Okay. And lastly, we're going to move back into a forward lean position so that the last thing we've done today is let go and soften through our abdominals to again encourage our baby to come forward into an anterior position. We're gonna use the yoga bolster to give a little bit of extra support under our knees, because we're gonna just relax here for a little bit of time. You may or may not want to use a birth ball to just rest your head on. You can absolutely just let it relax forward, but basically you're going to bring your whole torso into the sling. There's still plenty of space for your belly to relax forward into the sling. Bring yourself all the way down onto a pillow or a yoga bolster. And so you can just relax forward here like this. And come back a little bit further. Get yourself nice and comfy. You can just feel your body wanting to take some nice deep breaths and relax into it. Just hanging out here for a second, letting that really hang forward. And then if you'd like to stay just that little bit longer, you can always just rest your head on a birth ball like so. Just feeling super supported and relaxed. You can just stay here as long as you want, as long as it feels right for you. Some gentle movements if that feels right for you. And that, my friends, is the end of the daily movement practice with the Birth Sling. I hope you enjoyed.